Hello, hello. I thought I'd do something different for episode 200. Now, you can see this is Dad's studio. This is not Minecraft. This is not Amulet. I thought I would share a little bit of the magic that goes into the books themselves. As you've seen the world, I've been building it for, 200 episodes now. But this is some of the magic that goes into the books themselves. So, okay, that camera I don't need really. But I thought, and I'm gonna go back to perspective temporarily here, I would show just what goes into make the magic of the books. Now, we've got 25 available books. I think 26 is up. I'd have to double check, right? But I'm not going to right now. Check this. Okay, yeah, it's recording and everything. And you can see this is a full 3D environment. You'll probably recognize this building back here if I grab it and go boop. Take a good look at it. You'll recognize it as one I recently was using Amulet to paste into Minecraft. The Dream Angel world there. Now in here we have zero interior. There is nothing to this. It's hollow. They completely empty. There's nothing to it. Not even a door. Well, not really. There is a door, but it's a very good one. But you can see, I based the Minecraft build off this building, and you can see I used wool for the flags. I used concrete to make it look good. I took some liberties a little bit with Minecraft, but you can see it's pretty similar. Now, I thought I would share just what goes into this. And it looks like my hotbar of stuff has disappeared, so we'll just do it this way. I don't know if it's going to capture this. It's not. Okay. Can I do a second capture here? Oh, there it is. Okay. And we can add this in. And you can see, she looks good there. Yeah, I'm moving things about as I record and stuff, but you can see, this looks pretty good. And the building behind her looks good. Okay, I admit it, there's a forest behind it, behind everything, but it provides the light we need. And quite clearly, our hero looks pretty darn good there. Now, okay, I had a preset for getting her all posed and everything, but I still had to do some tweaking and tinkering to get the building in place and all that. But yeah, the AI lately. Now, I can see it having some uses, but I wouldn't use it for everything. Little kind of if I resize and move it around, yeah, you'll see. That's black, but you get the render. Ooh, it's pretty lit. It looks good. And you can see, yeah, this looks good. Let's see if I can make it bigger. There we go. Okay, I have to readjust the front window there a bit, but you get the idea. And I know, forest background, it's actually called an HDRI, High Dynamic Range Image, if I recall correctly. And, okay, I don't have too many city scenes, so I just went with what I had available. Just to get the point across, because it's providing some really good light on her. And it's provided some light on the building back there, too. And you can see it really looks like she's out on a sunny day with a building behind her. But yeah, I thought I would share a little bit of the process behind the books themselves. And make this episode a little more special than normal. Not just another building episode or another amulet pasting buildings in episode, but something that shows off the comic books themselves a little bit. Let's see here. Tone that down a little. And yeah, I have to admit, the renders usually do look pretty good when they're done. Let's see, it's at 86% right now. So yeah. I thought this would be fun to share. And let's see if I can, yeah, there we go. Resize that a little bit better. Show her off a little more. Make sure, yeah, that looks okay. Yes, I'm playing around a little bit in OBS here to share what the render looks like. And it's not even all the way done. As you can see, there's still some noise back here on the building. But yeah, she looks good in the foreground, and I can play around with stuff like depth of field. Now, I admit, CG art has seen a lot of flack over the years for being unrealistic, stiff, and not very good looking. Well, I think that argument can be put to rest, because she looks pretty good if you ask me. Admittedly, the hair could use some tweaking, but it does kind of give a little bit of movement to her too. As you can see right in here, there's a nice bit of movement, and the focal point being her face. And I could blur out the background with the building, but I didn't want to because I wanted the building to be recognized. And you can see she looks just like my Dream Angel skin in Minecraft. So yeah, there is definitely that. It's just the way I look in Minecraft, and just the way she looks in the books. And I'll admit, okay, the Minecraft skin could be better. I'm not the best at pixel art. I'm good with this kind of art. But I've been doing this for a good while. I started the comic book series, I believe it was 2008? Give or take? I think it was 2007. I take it back. It was actually a comic strip in the college newsletter. Let me share that little story. A friend caught me doodling in the cafeteria between classes and was just starting up the college newsletter and wanted a comic strip to be put in the newsletter. Now, I thought, since I wasn't technically at the time I was doing fan art. I'm a Sailor Moon fan. I freely admit it. And I thought, well, I can't put Sailor Moon in the newsletter, that's copyrighted. So I decided to work with a character that I'd been tinkering with in my fan art. My fan art was a long-running thing that I've been playing with. Just practice, primarily. And I thought, well, I have some original characters in that fan art that I can pull out that are not Sailor Moon related. As a matter of fact, they were completely original. And I thought, well, what the heck? I'll make up a story for them and start playing around. So I started fussing and came up with a little short strip. I only have the one run in the newsletter because we moved. My family moved, and I decided to make it into a full-on comic book after that little strip. And if I had a copy of the newsletter around at the moment, I would absolutely be flashing that up on screen. But I don't. So, yeah. She started out as a comic strip, and that was hand-drawn. That was long before I discovered the joys of CG. Now, part of that story, for my start with CG, was I discovered Poser. And, okay, this was Poser 7, this is many years ago. I bought Poser 7 and a book to go with it. And I tried my darndest to learn how to use it. This was before I really discovered YouTube tutorials. They weren't exactly a thing at the time. And I thought, well, what the heck? I'll fiddle and tinker, and one of the first things I built was the villain's castle. Not very well. By my own standards nowadays, it looks awful. I'm not gonna lie, that turned out terrible. The texture was way too big, but I had no idea how to adjust it at the time. I had no idea how to fix it. I thought it looked good, so I went with it. And I did the original Dream Angel #1 in Poser. After a lot of fussing. I had a lot of trouble, and I actually had to use Photoshop to paint over some of the outfits. You'll notice if you buy that particular book that Dream Angel's mother's uniform, her Larissa's police uniform, was actually painted in Photoshop. And I tried my best to make it look good. But I very much struggled with it. And this went on, I believe, through book 6, when I started to transition to Daz Studio, because I discovered I was having a lot less trouble using Daz. Hear me out on this. I struggled for a long time with Poser, trying to get things to look good. I painted over models in Photoshop. I attempted to make my own stuff. I had a lot of trouble with Poser, and it looks like our render is finished. But, oh, there's still some noise there, but that's not bad. Yeah, I struggled a lot with Poser. I know there's new versions out, but I'm not paying $200 for Poser again. I got it on sale at one time. It was like $74 or something crazy like that. It has since gone way up in price, and I'm not about to pay that much for Poser. If I was going to pay that much for a 3D program, it would be something better, I think. Because I've played with, what's the name of that program? What the heck is the name of that thing? Where is it? I know well, not, yeah, Sculptress. I've played with Sculptress and that line, and if I was going to pay $200 for a program, that would be the one I'd be picking. Not Poser, because I have way too much trouble using it. I took to Sculptress pretty easily, and Sculptress is actually the freebie version of that program. I forget the actual program. Tell me in the comments below if you know what it is. But I took the Sculptress pretty easily. I'm not a sculptor. Not by any stretch, pardon me again. And I'm terrible with clay. I'm not gonna lie about that one. I'm not very good with using clay. You ask me to sculpt something in real life, you're more likely to get a duck. Pardon me, and not a very good one at that. But you ask me to sculpt something in Sculptress, and I have a lot less trouble. I did a pretty decent looking cat and actually managed to rig the darn thing. Another piece of my story from my 3D journey is both happy and sad at the same time, more like bittersweet. I wanted very badly to get a Bachelor of Science in Computer Animation. And unfortunately, the school, which will remain unnamed because it's now defunct, was a scam school. And the classes I had were not very good. One of those classes was in Maya. Another was game level design. Actually, I enjoyed game level design, even though I hate first-person shooter games with a passion. This was for Unreal Tournament 3. But going back to Maya, one of my assignments was to rig and animate a character. And I had done a little flipbook animation in 5th grade because I was bored after a spelling test. I'd passed that test with flying colors. That's another day's story. But I'd done a little flipbook animation of a cat and a wind-up toy mouse that scares the living daylights out of the poor cat. And I wanted to try and recreate that little flipbook using Maya, but and don't judge me too harshly for this, I did not know what I was doing at the time. I rigged the cat from the nose. Now, anybody that's had anything to do with rigging knows you rig from the hip. So the animation turned out very badly in a hilarious way. It was hilariously bad, but it still got a bad grade for it. But I didn't know what I was doing because the class textbook was animation theory, nothing to do with the program we were using. The videos we were given on the program had nothing to do with rigging. There was literally no material for me to learn how to rig properly. So I was guessing. I was left out in the cold to guess, like being tossed in a 20-foot pool with 100 pounds on my back. Of course I'm gonna drown. And I still love animation. It's still a lot of fun. I do, from time to time, still play around with animation. I even got hold of Minemator and did a little animation with my Minecraft skin that I might put up someday. But yeah, I definitely still love CG art, and we're gonna give this a quick name. We'll just call it Pretty Dream Angel Plus Building and save it. But you can see, yeah. Oh, kept that up, didn't it? Oops. We'll just shrink into the corner. This render window. But yeah, I definitely still enjoy animation and all that. It's just that I do it on my terms these days. And you can see, this is a full 3D building. There's just nothing inside. This is a full, complete 3D environment. You can see Dream Angel's neatly posed and pretty, all pretty there. Yeah, if I pull up, let's see what camera looks like. Oh, that's pretty good. Let's just put an oxy camera so I can put this on perspective. Yeah, the office building is pretty simplistic, honestly. But I wanted to put in the scene something recognizable from the Minecraft world. And you can see what I've been up to here. Yeah. I thought I'd just have a little fun here. And let's put the building a little closer to her this time. Maybe I can make it a little bigger. Let's see. Can I scale it up? Let's fill the background with it a little bit better. Shush. Let's see here. Yeah, I've had quite the journey getting to understand and learn animation and stuff. But you can see, yeah, poof! She's practically invisible in front here, but you can still see when I mouse over her that she's there. Yeah, there she is. There she is. You see her hair. But if we come up here and render, oh, shut up. Oh, this isn't the render window. What the heck is going on? OBS, why are you? Oops, wrong one. There's the render. There she is. OBS being silly again. Yeah, you can see she looks pretty good there. And I've had to do a lot of studying for things like camera angle and just learning cinematography type stuff. And you can see she looks good here. There's even a shadow on the ground there. That looks pretty good. But yeah, I've had a lot of ups and downs getting going, and looks like OBS is throwing a hissy fit about encoder again. um, I wonder why it didn't behave. Isn't behaving itself sometimes with the thing here. Oh come on, resize a little bit here. But yeah, There's been a lot of ups and downs learning to deal with things like lighting and such. When I first discovered HDRIs like this uh, background of the forest here, oh man, it sped up renders so fast. And then I discovered that, and I really wish Des would update it, Carrera lets me make HDRIs. So does, not Hexagon, but Bryce. I've been able to make HDRIs of the backgrounds that I use, which means all I have to manipulate is my characters and my cameras, because the background provides all the lighting I need, which is really quite nice because it speeds up the rendering a lot. And render times, I've had renders go for close to 48 hours if I do a complete scene with buildings and people and props and stuff. Is I don't really have a high-end computer. It's middle of the road. So being able to shorten the render time really does help it a lot. And you can see these renders have only taken a couple of minutes here and there. Let's check on Daz itself. Yeah, 93% already. Because it's already rendered her and the background and the building, it's saying, okay, I've already done this. I've got these textures put together. Boom, I'm just gonna render it nice and quick. So if I use an HDRI for a background, like I am here, I can have multiple characters in the scene and multiple cameras, so all I have to do is manipulate the character's pose and the camera angle, and I have the next scene for my book. It's finding just very, very tricky. Speeds up to just, I'm very happy with the way things turn out for Minecraft. Really just see and interact with my scene the way. No two ways about it. There's a lot of polygons. That's a different story. I can build it up any way I like. Just call it building one there. Uh-oh. Oh, it seems OBS doesn't like Daz Studio much. I'll have to fix the encoder. I hope that didn't get messed up too badly. In the meantime, yeah. This is how it's done. The magic behind the books. So, now that you've seen the magic behind the books, I hope you'll go enjoy those books. And if you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and bye for now!